And still from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, and this time we're going to be talking about the Children's Museum, the section for children at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. And to know more about it, the Egyptian Museum hosts a children museum to explain our history to kids in an interactive way. When it comes to education and learning in museums and galleries, there is nothing better than getting people involved in activities related to exhibitions and fostering a culture of participation. Education in museum is important on many fronts, and most importantly, it connects the community to the museum and provides inspiration for both children and adults. Mohammed, we will be knowing more about the Children Museum in this episode, in this
Indeed,
section
and
actually.
we have with us Dr. Sherein Amin, the director of the Children Museum at the Egyptian Museum. Thank you very much for joining
You're
us,
most welcome.
and please introduce our viewers to the Children Museum. I mean, a smile came to our faces as soon as we heard, the Children Museum. So, what is it all about?
Actually, the museum is a special exhibition at the Egyptian Museum. They present Egyptian history with Lego. So all the objects are from Lego. So that's imitation to ancient Egyptian history with different Lego. It consists of 6 halls that presents the pyramids, the different topics of ancient Egyptian civilizations, like how the Egyptian made the statues, what about God in ancient Egyptian history, but with Lego, and the same mask of the King Tutankhamun, but with Lego. The mummy was Lego, and the museum was provided by replicas. Many educational resources. It's conducted and produced by the ministry unit of production of the fake object here in the Ministry of Antiquities, in order to supply the context of the museum. Actually, we are trying to present the history in a very interactive way in our children museum, of course.
Right. How does the Children's Museum section, I mean the section for children, work on raising the interest of our children for Egyptian monuments and artifacts?
We are trying first to address their needs and their interests. So we are present programs for them, like learning ancient Egyptian language or learning the topics of ancient Egyptian history by a tour in the main museum first, focusing on the certain topic, and then a tour in the Children Museum as well. And then a special educational workshop at the Sherein museums. We are trying to engage with the schools with a very, very young age, like mummification workshops, like even learning French and Deutsch and German and French with ancient Egyptian artifacts. So we are trying first to address the needs of our target groups, and then try to tie them with the museum's object and the message of the Sherein museum.
Since when did we have this museum?
2010.
Yeah.
And it was made by Dr. Wafa al-Siddiq. She was the former director of the Egyptian Museum. And this was a traveling exhibitions, so moved all around the world. And then back again here to the Egyptian Museum. And our mission is delivering high quality of dynamic programs and our programs from 4 years old till secondary school. And we have a special section for the artists or presenting artistic work for the children. An art specialist is in charge of that part of our children museum. So
And
that
I wonder, Dr. Sherein, if you are satisfied with the degree of attraction that you are achieving when it comes to children. Years ago, many schools used to organize trips to the museum and so on, but nowadays the school trips are more to entertainment areas, new areas of entertainment, and unfortunately less to historic
Yes.
places like the Egyptian Museum. So is the trend going up? This
Actually,
exhibition, the Lego
Yeah.
move, is it working? Are you satisfied with the
I
degree
think
of
I'm trying to be
attraction?
satisfied with providing the museum with more programs to attract the needs and the interests of the Egyptian children. So it's every year we are trying to, in cooperation, of course, with the Ministry of Antiquities, because we have a plan from the minister, and we plan with them from the museum sector at the Ministry of Antiquities, and we are trying to follow. And let me tell you that the Children Museum is a part of the educational work of the museums in Egypt. We have a special unit in the museum sector in charge of designing the plan of the educational programs. So in every museum in Egypt, we have educational departments with a special exhibition for the children. And the Children Museum is a part of that plan. So we are trying every every year to document our plan and apply that plan in cooperation with the head of the museum sector at the Ministry of Antiquities, of course. Yeah.
Right. Are there any special events or workshops that you organize specifically for children?
Actually, we have different programs according to different age, but our main program is called the Tut and Trouble. It's King Tutankhamun. It's learning the children the approaches of mummifications on a replica mummy. They learn the material used during mummification process that is listed on Edfu temple. They smell the materials, and they make the wrapping process, the last process of mummification process in the ancient Egypt, and then perform the funeral procession of the King Tut at the garden of the Egyptian Museum. So it's a very attractive program, and it's our main program at the children museums. And most of the schools ask about that program. We want Tut and Trouble, we want to play with the mummy, and we try to make that mummy, you can touch it and we can deal with it without any fear. And what behind the object is what we are seeking for. Well, that's our target, to deliver what behind the object, not just it's not just the stones, it's what behind the stones and the story behind the stones. And every program at the Children Museum must be preceded by a tour in the main museum, focusing on the main topic that we are trying to deal with.
Yes.
Whether music, games, whether ancient Egyptian life, ancient Egyptian family, and then the workshop at the Children Museum as well.
How do you see, if you allow Muhammad,
Yes,
how do you see the reaction of children when they first come to the museum and interact
Actually,
that way?
the attraction, of course, is very impressive. And you can follow our page on Facebook, because we have a special page, and it's with over 20,000 followers. So you can follow our programs, and you can come to the museum at any time. It's open. At here, it's for free, and our program as well is presented for free.
Great. Which age category, Dr. Sherein, do you think is, do you find more active and more into this and happy
Actually,
with
since
the displays?
the museum is from Lego, so
Yeah.
the most age is from 4 to 7 years old, the most young age who come to our museum and get involved with the Lego stuff and the objects. And we have a special Lego program for that age. So after the tour in the Children Museum and they saw the object with Legos, they are trying to make their own models on the tables of Lego at the Children Museum of the Egyptian Museum.
That's
So I
beautiful.
think it's a very, very special exhibition at our museum. We are so unique. We are the only in Egypt representing that exhibition with Lego. So it's a very impressive one, and attract the children from many, many age, and invite all people to come to Children
Indeed,
Museum.
you could even discover young restorers or
Yes, even here.
yeah, even here, yes.
Right. Do you think that the current generation of children are less interested in museums, in culture, than previous generation
I
here in
think
Egypt?
it depends to us. We have to inform them about the museum, so that's our duty. We cannot say that we are not care about their history without saying that we are the one in charge, and we are the one responsible to attract them to the museum. So I think if we present more programs like that, and that the Ministry of Antiquities present different programs in different section of the children, so that means we are trying to do our best. So majority will come to us. So that's our main target anyway.
What about non-Egyptian children? Did they come in these tours? Is there significant
Actually, yes,
participation for
because,
them?
yeah,
Any
it's
specific programs?
It's for free, and we are at the Children Museum. We are presenting special programs for the foreigners. Working with different foreign schools, so we are present programs with French and with English as well. So that means the tour is in English, and all the workshops are in English. So we target that community as well. So it's a part of the community of Egypt, and come to
Yes.
us, and we present this service for them for free. So all these are for free, and the museum is open for free to the tourists who come to the Egyptian Museum, and you can use the Lego tables and present the models, and we present that tour programs for them
Any
for free.
specific working days or working hours?
We are working all the days except Friday, and
Okay.
from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock. That's our working hours.
From 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Right. Do you think the media has an important role to play with regards to raising the awareness of children to the importance of their culture?
Yeah, sure. The media is a major here, the major key that the media transfer our programs, and there are many programs like this attend our workshops and document our workshops, and we're trying to reach the more majority of the Egyptian community by the media, of course, media channels, and even the social media as well.
Dr. Sherein, could you shed light on cooperation with schools in general, so as to, you know, install programs that include more information about our history, our civilization, our
Yes.
museums?
Let me tell you that we have a special programs with the schools, but the school, they have to present a formal letter to us that we come to the Children Museum and they will participate in our programs to the director of the Egyptian Museum, and they got the permission from the director, and then we are trying with the head of the director of the school in order to plan the program and define the category of the programs and define the topic, and then try to put this in our plan and then apply the program after that. So that's our special programs with schools. So
Right.
but must be approved by the director, of course.
Right, Dr. Sherein Amin, Director of Children Museum at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. Many thanks for your interesting information.
Yeah, most
Thank you.
welcome. And
Thank you,
hoping
Dr.
all
Sherein.
will come to us.
Thank you.
Most
Thank
welcome.
you for the invitation. Thank you, Naveen, very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for joining us today at our special edition of Nile Cruise, coming to you live from the Egyptian Museum in Cairo.
Have all the best. Good.